chicken fried steak is beef. So I recently learned something, ladies and gentlemen. A good friend of mine introduced me to a new sandwich from across the pond, and it's ham and peanut butter. You may be thinking, Adam, what? I was also thinking that until I tried it. You know who you are. Thank you for introducing me to this absolute game changer of a sandwich. If you're watching this and you haven't tried it yet, I implore you to do so. Okay, today we're going to be checking out 6 food dishes I only discovered after moving to America. If you are new here, my name is Adam and welcome to the show. It would be an absolute treat if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you want me to react to absolutely anything, comments box down below. And also, if you're a fan or a viewer of the Twitches, I stream there too. And there's a link for my channel there also too. Holy shit, what am I even talking about, man? Without further ado, let's do this.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and
By the way, I also have a net. Just saying. Yeah, we're absolutely definitely lost.
Specifically, food dishes that I only encountered after moving to the United States.
Hit me
I'll
with
be
it.
honest with you, those of you who have seen my food-related videos in the past will know that this video could be a list of 150 food dishes. So I've kept it to 6 in the hope that if it's successful, we'll do a part 2, and a part 3, and a part 4. You get
Part
the picture.
28, yeah.
Now, before we look at the dishes in question, if you've not had a chance to subscribe to this channel, do that now. In the meantime, here are 6 food dishes that I never encountered back in Britain, but did so once I moved here. Before I became
What
a
the
resident
hell?
of the here.
What the fuck is clam chowder? That sounds like a disease. Clam chowder.
Before I became a resident of the United States, the words clam and chowder very rarely found themselves emanating
chowder.
from my mouth. And similarly, the food item in question very rarely entered
What is it?
In fact, it never did, because clam chowder is, of course, a dish that is specifically synonymous with American cuisine and, even more specifically, Northeastern cuisine.
What is a
And for my
chowder?
non-American viewers who might be thinking, what the heck is clam chowder? Hopefully
fish.
not at such a high frequency. Clam
Fish.
chowder is basically a chowder soup that contains clams. Was that really so difficult? And perhaps appropriately for somebody from Old England, I'm most familiar with New England clam chowder. And you might be thinking, ooh, Lawrence, but I thought you lived in the Midwest. And I do live in the Midwest. But something that you need to know about the United States is that while it does have a lot of sort of regional dishes that remain regional to that region, some dishes start live regionally and then make their way across the country. And the same
they're
is true
so good.
of clam chowder.
So this
and I
must
remember
be
having
nice.
it for the first time at a very expensive seafood restaurant. And before you go, oh, Lawrence, it sounds like somebody's getting a little too big for their boots. This was 10 years ago in Indianapolis. And to prove to you that I remain a completely down-to-earth YouTube sensation, the only other time that I've had clam chowder was in a mall. Because this is America, where there are more food courts than
Jesus,
legal
why does this
courts.
picture look
And
like I need to
that's
rub
probably
my
not
eyes?
true. If you'd have asked me
Meatloaf!
20 years ago, Lawrence, what is meatloaf? My answer
I would do anything for love.
would have been unequivocal. Meatloaf is that actor that was in Fight Club, the same guy that used to sing power ballads written by John Steinbeck. I think that's supposed to say Jim Steinman. But during the harsh winter of 2008, was it really that? It wasn't that bad. I was introduced to a food item by the
What?
name
Like,
of meatloaf.
is meat-
And it is literally, as the name suggests, a loaf of meat. Smushed together with other
What?
ingredients until it forms the shape of, well, bread, which I've just realised is the name of another 70s rock group.
What,
and
bread?
just like with bread, it's usually served in slices, which is something I wish somebody would have told me before I tried to eat it with a spoon. Anyway, meatloaf, the food, is not something that most British people would be familiar with. But in doing a little bit of research for this video,
How
I
would you try to
discovered
eat with a
that
spoon?
haslet, which is a cut of meat that originated in my home
How do you
county
eat
of
this?
Lincolnshire,
With your mouth. Shut up, okay? I meant like, what do you eat it with? Shut up. Doesn't fucking... Forget I said anything.
that doesn't enjoy anywhere near the ubiquity, a word that they dared me to get into the video, that meatloaf does in the United States. While
Chicken
some of the
fried
dishes on this list
steak.
came to my attention more or less immediately after I moved to America, there are some I only found out about in the last couple of
sounds
years. And indeed, those of you who were watching
so
my
good.
channel 2 years ago will know that this includes a dish called chicken fried steak. In fact, if it hadn't been for my collaboration with a Scottish YouTube sensation by the name of Sean, I might to this day have no idea what that is.
Chicken fried steak. Have you ever heard of chicken fried steak?
Never heard of it. Where did you see that?
There was in this diner, and it was, I didn't know if it was chicken or steak, but I think it's beef.
Anyway, don't take my word for it.
I don't even know if it is, but surely chicken fried steak is chicken. Surely it's not fucking beef.
Instead, here's me from 2 years ago with more details. That's amazing.
Can we confirm that it's not beef?
It's the gravy that makes it. I'm just going to try a little piece without gravy to see what that's like. Yeah, even without gravy, it's definitely still fried.
Yep.
But Sean was right. I mean, this is pretty phenomenal, and I think that, you know, if I could, I'd eat one of these every day, but I'd go into cardiac arrest.
Can we talk about whether it's beef or not? Can someone? I know it's not, but I need someone to tell me that it's not. Comments box down below, guys. Get your little fingers. Get the typing. Let me know that this chicken is not beef. This sounds so stupid even saying that.
Surprise is that while it does indeed contain steak, and while it is indeed fried, there is no chicken. And speaking of...
What? What is it? Why even call it chicken? Hold on a minute, I need to Google. Chicken is made of beef. Chicken is made of beef. Chicken fried steak is beef.
of chicken, guess what's for dinner? I'll give you a clue. It arrived courtesy of today's sponsor, Factor 75.
I'm so glad for you, brother, but I can't watch this because I'll get in trouble. But it also looks class. I'm assuming it's like some sort of food.
That's code LITP50 at factor75.com to get 50.
Technically, I didn't say anything about it. I just pointed towards the screen, so I can't get in trouble for that, right?
Orders.
The
There are no two
cornbread!
ways about it. Americans are obsessed with chili. You might be thinking, Lawrence, the transition slide didn't say anything about chili. What are you talking about? Well, chili in this country is often accompanied by a side dish that seems particularly popular with my wife's family.
Can he stop doing that with his L's, man? It's making me stutter in my own brain. Feel like I'm having a stutter when he says particularly.
Family. Cornbread. And just to be clear, since there seems to be a pattern emerging here, that is not corn as in the new metal band. No, corn as in cornmeal, which is the chief ingredient of cornbread. And it's pretty nice when it's not green, which is an allusion to a video I made in which it was. Either way, cornbread is one of many examples pointing to America's obsession with...
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I'm never eating any bread that's green. Just saying. By the way, just Mars48. You're watching this video right now and you just follow me on Twitch. Thank you.
Corn. At the state fair, you have corn dogs. At Halloween, you have
corn
candy
doggies.
corn. And in everything, you have corn syrup. For most of us Brits who relocate here to America, hearing the word biscuits and gravy in the same sentence is profoundly frightening, because there are two things that I think most of us don't know until we move here. Number one, the gravy in question is usually this sort of thick, white concoction that's quite spicy. Compare this to the gravy that we're used to back home, provided by the likes of Bisto, which is a darker, thinner kind of liquid. But the other major difference is the way in which Americans define the word biscuit.
I didn't know it was
in Britain, of course,
spicy?
a biscuit is what Americans would call a cookie. So perhaps you can see why the term biscuits and gravy might make us do a bit of sick. Until we learn that in America, a biscuit is a form of savoury baked bread that they push on you a little too much at Red Lobster. And I say too much because American-style biscuits are actually really nice. And I have been known to devour 6 or 7 of those before my fish and chips arrives. Of course I still eat the fish and chips. Do you think I'm a psychopath? And I must say, since it is a popular dish here in the Midwest, biscuits and gravy is actually quite nice once you overcome the initial trauma.
I think it would be nice.
And finally, tacos.
Taco?
Tacos. An entry that really ought to come with a couple of caveats. Number one, tacos, like a lot of popular dishes in America, aren't actually American. To which you are thinking, no they're
Yeah.
obviously Mexican. But
I mean, you could have got tacos when you lived in the UK, Lawrence. Or you just didn't have them before we moved. Me, okay, I get it. I only discovered. Okay, gotcha.
spoken about a lot on this
My bad.
channel, Mexican food is very popular here in the US. As I've also pointed out, it has in recent years gained a foothold back in the UK, but I haven't been there for any of that. So I only encountered tacos, both the word and the food, in the years that I've been living on this side of the pond.
Yep.
And of all of the many Mexican dishes you can get here, tacos seem to be the one with which Americans are most obsessed.
Why do you say
Basically, if you don't know what tacos are, then you're not from North America.
Why are we saying tacos? Taco. Taco. Is it a taco or taco? Taco. You want to get some tacos? You want to get some tacos? Okay. Okay, it is tacos, isn't it?
America. You take a mini tortilla. I know how it's pronounced. I'm just
Tortilla!
messing with them. And you put whatever on them: chicken, guacamole, beans, salsa.
Beef.
And you wrap it up, usually badly in my case, and you just eat about maybe 3 of them. Personally though, I find it easier and maybe less messy just to have a quesadilla. Which makes me realize this entire list could have just been Mexican food. Well, if I've learned anything today, it's that talking about food makes me really hungry.
Well, if there's anything I've learned today, it's that there's beef in a chicken fried steak. I don't know what's happened there, man, to be honest with you. I don't know how it's been... What is it called? Beef fried steak. I'm sure there's some sort of reason for it, and if you know it, I am on my knees begging for you to explain to me why this has happened, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you have not yet, like, subscribe. If we get 1,500 likes in this video, I'll shave off my hair on my leg and sell it on eBay. Free postage and packaging. Goodbye.